Today, we're going buzzbait fishing. I've not been on this lake in 3 months, so we're gonna have to look to see if we can even find some fish. There's a full moon tonight, so they should be, bluegill should be spawning. It's June, bluegill spawn should be happening. These bass should be willing to chomp a buzzbait, no problem. So let's get after it. Not exactly ideal weather conditions. It's supposed to be bright and sunny today. You know, if it's a overcast day, I'll throw a buzzbait all day long. Overcast or even rainy, even better. But bright sunny day, not so much. So now if you can hear how quiet this is, it's not exactly ideal. I haven't broke it in yet, but as the day goes on, this should get louder and squeakier. Now, one thing you can do to make this even better is to just hold it out the window of your car while you're driving down the interstate. Make sure you protect your hand from the hook. But as you're driving down the road, it's going to be putting, you know, millions of rotations on that blade, holding it out the window. And it's the equivalent of, you know, millions of casts, basically. And it'll start developing that good squeak. So I'll give this like 10 minutes, and then I'll switch to a different style buzzbait and see if one of those gets bit a little better. So this one being chartreuse with kind of like a green pumpkin trailer. I have a black toad on my clacking, and I have a little white or shad color swim bait on my finesse. So one of those three should be what the bass want to eat. All right, guys, so I've gone to a clacking style buzzbait with a black toad for the trailer, like a zoom horny toad or whatever. We'll see if that can get us a little better quality bite, or one that's a little more willing to commit. Yeah, waited on that one. That spotted bass got it too. Like completely down his throat, guys. That's a better fish, guys. That's a better fish. Oh, he smoked it right there. Good Lord. There's one. I'm not sure if he's going to keep. All right, it's fish number 3. There we go. Each one of these guys are getting it all the way. This is on 12-pound fluoro. I know 12-pound doesn't really sound like much, and it's really not. However, since this is such a small bait, I don't want to overpower it by having a heavy line. I want to be able to have a lighter line, and I just might need to fight the fish a little better. They seem to really get this better most of the time, so I can allow them to fight a little more. Now I know you're sitting there thinking fluorocarbon in a buzzbait, and you should never throw fluoro with topwater baits, but that's not true with buzzbaits because buzzbaits sink. So it doesn't matter if it's fluoro or mono anyway, they sink. I don't use braid on this because it's a small buzzbait, and I don't want to overpower it with the heavier line, end up breaking components and stuff if I get stuck. So there's one that just swung on it right there and missed. So I keep lighter line since it is smaller, lighter components. So for a trailer on this, I have a Castaic Jerky J Swim, a little tiny 3.5-inch swim bait. I think it adds, I think when the bass are really feeding on shad, this is almost unbeatable. Now I think these bass are primarily feeding on bluegill, so I should probably switch trailers, but I think I'll still pick some up anyway. Now I throw this on a 7-foot medium. It's a fast action. It's a 2-power rod, so it's actually pretty light. It's like an all-purpose rod. So, you know, not a cranking rod, not a worm and jig rod, just an all-purpose rod. It's the same thing I like to throw weightless Senkos on. It's a Denali ATAX. And then I think I have a 7-to-1 gear ratio for my reel. I'll use a buzzbait like this in like clear water, and this is pretty clear today. But if I've got like that gin clear bathtub lake, or if I'm fishing for smallmouth absolutely love these little tiny buzzbaits. And there's probably no cooler bite than watching a smallmouth eat a buzzbait. It's just so violent. Such an awesome bite. That's a good one. Choked it. Another good one. Oh man, there's an even bigger one chasing him. Wow, there's an even bigger one chasing this guy. So guys, for regular buzzbaits, I use the same rod and reel setup that I do for swim jigs. So like a 7.2 medium heavy fast action worm and jig rod. The one I particularly use is a Denali Covert worm and jig rod, 7.2 medium heavy fast action. That is about it, guys. If you have any buzzbait questions, feel free to drop them down below. Again, this is one of my absolute favorite baits to throw, and I love talking about it. So again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them down below.